Greetings and welcome to Lightworkers International Lightworkers Unite for Healing Circle. I'm just thrilled that you're here and that you want to help with this healing, with the healing of the planet. But really, this international group, International Healing Circle, has been going on for 335 days today. I've been sitting in this chair, and when this first came out on March 13th, that we're going to get shut down. I looked out that window and I said, somebody needs to start a healing circle so that everybody knows where they can go, they can be, and it's going to give them that support and nurturing. And it was a wave that came through and said, Angel, you're the one. So that's why I've been sitting here and still every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday now providing amazing people from all over the world. They give these wonderful meditations and tips and insights and just their energy of love to serve, just to come on and serve is just wonderful. So I thank you for being here and you wanting and you being available and open to hear this beautiful. So Lightworkers is a made up name. And it's a name that I made up years ago when I had Lightworkers gifts. I am Angel Marie Monticelli, and I'm considered the Shine On Girl, also a walking antidepressant is what I'm called, and also the Fireball MC because I'm a professional speaker. So I come at you tonight and just ask you to just be with us tonight and take some deep breaths because I have an amazing guest. I can't wait. She's just up the street from where my mama lives and my sister. And I'm so excited. All the way from San Diego, California. Rosie, welcome to the Healing Circle.
Hey, thank you. Yes, I'm in San Diego. I'm not too far from your mother. It's absolutely right. And we've had a beautiful day in San Diego today. It rained a little bit, poured, and then now it's just been blue sky the whole afternoon.
Oh, this is wonderful. And, we want to send that energy out to everyone because there's a lot of people. I'm in Phoenix and we had a great day, a beautiful sunny day here. Yeah. So we definitely are sending everybody that beautiful vibes of the sun.
Yeah, it just, and today, I don't know, it just felt so special maybe because it was raining and dark in the morning. And then my guy had an operation earlier this week, so I took him out. I go, I have something I want to show you. And I just walked, and he kept, well, what's going on? He didn't know. And I brought him to the patio where the sun was shining. I go, I just want you to see the sun and this, feel the rays and your plants. And it was just like, it was life-giving, I think, because he had been in that, inside recovering and, he could walk. So I think just having, even that glimpse of sun is so important in our lives. And if you have it, get out there and just breathe in nature for a few minutes.
Absolutely. And it really is. It's considered the natural antibiotic, just being outside.
Yeah.
And what you did on your kindness to him. And I know you're so kind and such a wonderful lady, and you help so many. But could you tell a little bit about what you do with kindness, Joy? I see that big old Joy.
Yeah, exactly. So I have, so I'm Rosie Aiello. I'm a women's life and transformation coach, and I help women with the Love is Kind Network. I'm in the Love is Kind Network. Really, women to help them reclaim their voice, their value, their confidence and courage, especially those who have emerged from narcissistic, abusive, toxic relationships, and be able to create a productive and joyful life that they deserve. Plus, especially with Valentine's Day around the corner, I help women really find what I call the kind love of their life. And
yes,
because real love is kind. Right?
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. So I'm so thrilled to be here with you. I wrote to her earlier. I go, you cannot be in Angel's presence and not feel elevated. So anytime I can be with her, it's like I just feel like I'm already on a cloud.
Oh, well, thank you, Rosie. I feel the same about you. And I love what you're doing and helping so many. And, many people are still in isolation. They are. And they're still hunkered down. And I know people personally that have still not gotten out. In 335 days, they're still getting. So what kind of things are you finding in your coaching practice, and also in what you have a wonderful podcast. I love your podcast. Love your podcast, and you have riveting, really wonderful guests on there. So what kind of tips would you give?
Well, this is really a good question, because when I was in my abusive relationship, even though I was married, I was isolated from my family and friends, and geographically, so I was living across the seas and everything else. So I know what that feeling of isolation is. And back then there weren't these videos and online StreamYards and Facebook Lives, and there weren't Facebook groups. There wasn't anything. So I was pure isolation. And I think for those listening now is like, what a great opportunity to be here. Because if you are physically isolated, just being part of a conversation, being able to see somebody through the Zoom. I have been, it's funny, I've been using Zoom for years for business. I never thought until COVID to use it for personal reasons. Never. And I remember, we had visited his sister the year before. And I thought, oh, I don't know when we're going to see her again. It's like now with Zoom, we have like a dinner every month. And when I moved from San Francisco down to San Diego, I thought, I'm never going to see my family again. I mean, it was really sad. I'm a big baby, And then this Christmas, when I was up in San Francisco, I would always have a Christmas party. Have a Christmas party for my friends, and then one for my family the next day, and served all these Italian specialty cookies and things like that. And I created that same thing, but on Zoom. So for me, this is a way to overcome, even for myself, some of the isolation from family. And I will continue it. Post-COVID, I've now developed a new thing. My cousin, I hadn't seen her in so long. She lives in Chicago. We got to have a dinner. And so now I know how to have these dinners. There's her, and like you set the computer, so it looks like you're literally across the table from each other.
It's brilliant. It really is. And I know there many of you had a 2020, you were like, holy but you know what? A lot of the communication really opened up, with our families. Some of it broke away. It did. Many. And some of it really came more together about, hey, how are you? Are you okay?
Yeah. And I think the other thing that's so important for people to recognize, like right today, right now, is that you are more resilient than you think, that you are still here. Maybe, you would like it to be better. We all would like it to be better, but just to know that as a human, you have more resiliency than you think. You have more courage than you think. You have more strength than you think. And you have gotten through this. You have, by your mere presence here.
That's beautiful. And, when we look at it, this is what I always bring up, is the Romans. They pillaged and killed for how many years? And we are resilient. We are still here, still evolving. And that's what it takes.
Yeah, still evolving. And I think, if we can go to just step out just a little bit more from, woe is me, this is not what I wanted for my life. A lot of people were planning to get married and had to postpone. Some got married by Zoom, and all different things of adaptation. But it's like, well, one, how can I adapt? How can I be resilient? What can I learn about myself? Mm-hmm. And well, I'm just going to offer once again is that you're more resilient than you think, and just to lean on that, because we feel like when so much uncertainty is thrown at us, it's, it makes us feel a little bit uneasy. It's like, where are things, but we're able to negotiate it. We're able to negotiate it. And I think we just need to keep reminding ourselves that we can do it.
I love that philosophy. And I know that that's the way that you coach. We were talking earlier about that yesterday. Was a day, and I was so kind to myself that I really wasn't online. I didn't do anything. I cried most of the day. I wrote. I really looked within. And did I come up with anything? Not necessarily. Why? Not necessarily. But yet I nurtured myself. I was kind.
Yeah.
And it really helped me to come through to be able to help more people. because
Yeah.
I have to be okay.
Absolutely. I mean, that is so important what you're sharing, Angel. I mean, I'm such obviously a huge believer in that, because I like to share that you deserve to be treated with kindness, and it starts by being kind to yourself, giving yourself that self-kindness and self-compassion. It's a strategy that's often overlooked. You know, we're very hard on ourselves, we judge ourselves, we criticize ourselves. But when just to say, hey, you know what? I'm going through a tough time, and I'm just having this human experience. And if I could just be a little bit kind to myself, just something as simple like that is really helpful.
Yeah. I mean, it's so wonderful to be able to step into that.
Yeah.
Yes. And give yourself permission to be messy.
Mhm.
That's what I did for myself. I give myself permission to be messy. And
Permission to be human.
yeah.
Right? Humans are messy sometimes, right?
Yes, we are. We definitely are. And you know what? What really helps is when we go into meditation. And meditation can be just that you're focusing on the person that's speaking and you're doing the breathing. Because most of the time in meditation, someone that's guiding you, they're going to say breathe. And anytime that you can take that deep breath, right, Rosie? It's going to help so much. I mean, so much. So you know what? Why don't we just do that now? So everybody get set. And you know, I say that this is a healing circle and to help us to heal the planet. And you may think that's a lot to take in. So I don't want you to take it all in. I want you just to be and listen to Rosie's beautiful tone of her voice as she takes you and guides you. And as you are in a vibrational field, frequency, energy of relaxation, neutral, and just listening, you actually heal and it goes out to the world. That's what it is. It's energy.
Yeah. And it's energy, and it's just one person at a time, so as when you're kind to yourself, then you can be more kind, you can be kinder to more people.
Yes,
that's how it spreads.
And you want to know more about kindness, she's going to put more of her information later. She'll put all of her information so you can follow her. She's amazing in the podcast. So without, I'm going to let you have full screen and you go right ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so let's just take a nice deep breath in, and I'm going to be sharing with you a couple of things that I wrote that, and I was frantically finding this, like, why couldn't I find this? But I did, and I know I found it for a reason. And I want you to really take this in and just breathe it in as you're listening, okay? No stress. And this is called When Kindness is the Way. Think and imagine a world where kindness is the way. Imagine our homes and families where kindness is the way. Imagine neighborhoods and communities where kindness is the way. Imagine governments and nations where kindness is the way. Imagine this incredible world when kindness is the way. And when kindness begins with you. And I want to share something else with you as you just kind of take that in, that kindness is the way. And when we lead ourselves with kindness, honoring ourselves with kindness, it creates a whole ripple effect of how you show up in the world. So this is called the Love is Kind Pledge. And it goes like this. I am worthy. I deserve to be treated with kindness. I am lovable. I am enough. I have the right to live my life on my own terms. I deserve to be heard, and what I have to say is important. I have the right to be my true and authentic self. I take good care of myself so that I can help others and show up more fully, which is exactly what Angel did. I have the right to honor myself and boundaries. I deserve to be surrounded by kind, loving, and supportive people. My life matters. I have the right to create a joyful, productive, and prosperous life. You deserve to be treated with kindness, and it starts by being kind to yourself. Just Breathe it in. Yeah. I deserve to be treated with kindness. Again, I deserve to be treated with kindness. Nice, slow breathing. Take it all in. Take this belief in. And if you have a hard time believing it, just trust me and believe in me. Because sometimes we haven't been treated that way. And sometimes we haven't treated ourselves that way. The negative criticism, the judgment, the shoulds, the could'ves, that's not being kind to yourself. So try to practice this. And just keep saying, I deserve to be treated with kindness so that I can create a productive, prosperous, and joyful life. That's good. Yes. Nice and easy. Just take it all in. That's good. That's good. You're not alone. You're never alone. And really, thanks to the internet and all the technology you have today, there's no reason to ever be alone. And sometimes you don't feel like reaching out, but reach out. There'll be somebody there who wants to chat with you. So you can also, to be kind to yourself, it's like, I have so many people I can reach out to. I have people I haven't even thought about that I can reach out to. I want to share a story with you that I reached out. Well, it was kind of mutual, but I kind of did the initial one. I reached out to somebody I had not spoken to in 35 years. It wasn't like we had a falling out. I worked for this person for a long time, and then we just went our separate ways. And we talked to each other not too long ago, and it was like 35 years had not passed. Sometimes we have this thought in our mind, well, gee, I haven't talked to them so long, how could I speak to them? But it's not like that. Just think of yourself. What if they had reached out to you and you go, oh my gosh, how wonderful. You wouldn't be judging them. Why didn't you talk to me earlier? Or why didn't you call like 5 years ago? That would be going through your mind. So I want you to release the judgment and the perfection and how you should reach out to somebody, and just reach out. Reach out to an old teacher maybe. Reach out to a high school classmate. Doesn't matter who. Doesn't matter how long. Just think of the feeling you're going to have when you have that conversation and you connect. And that's what we can do during this time, and learning this lesson of COVID, that how much more important connections are, and how now we're practicing making connections because we are far apart. When we can't see our family, our friends, our children, our classmates, our teachers. So now it's up to us to reach out. You reached out, and then you're showing somebody else that they can reach out, and then they reach out, and we create this kindness circle of connection. You are a light worker just by sharing your story, by sharing a hello. Just hello. I want to say hi to you and see how you're doing. I mean, now as I'm talking, people are coming into my mind that I haven't reached out to in a long time. It's like, well, why not? It doesn't have to be a long time. I remember when I lived overseas, my friends and family said, oh, I'm sorry I didn't write to you. I felt like I needed to write a lot. And so instead of writing hello, they wouldn't write anything. So I was like, well, geez, I would have liked to have heard from you. And that's what they're saying to you too. Just a little hello, a little text message. Use an emoji. You can use an emoji to say hello. Hey, I do that to a friend of mine all the time. She hasn't been feeling well. She's had a couple surgeries. And I just say, I'm thinking of you. That's it. I'm thinking of you. And if she can respond, fine. If she's not ready to or unable, she knows I'm thinking of her. And I think that's the thing is, how are you feeling? I reached out the other day to my old neighbor, and I love this woman, and she's gone through so much tragedy. When I was a child, her husband died of a heart attack, and a year later, her 10-year-old son died of leukemia. And she had an older daughter who in high school was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And then when her daughter was 40, she also passed away. So this woman has seen so much tragedy in her life. But when you talk to her, she is so full of joy. And I called her. I probably hadn't spoken to her maybe in 5 more years, right? And before then, it had been quite a while. And we had the most delightful conversation. And there was no guilt trip. It was just pure joy. So if you can see me, you see that there's joy behind me. And that's what you create. You create joy for yourself and you create joy for others. How can you create joy?
Ooh, that's a beautiful question. I love that. And I love that, and it is all about creating the joy, isn't it? And that energy.
Mm-hmm. And there's, I just wanted to share that. And it was just kind of coming at like how I was reaching out these last few months and stuff like that to people I hadn't spoken to. And it was fabulous. So while they're in isolation, that would seem to be sort of the topic, in isolation, all it takes is just one reaching out, just saying hello. That's all.
It's so important. And that's one thing in the Shine On movement also is in the song, it says, is to always, always reach out. Ask for what you want. Ask for what you want. And, I'm doing that now. And probably about a couple months ago, I called a couple of friends and said, you know what? Can you call and just could you just call? Can you just, and people go, oh, Angel, you look so busy on Facebook, because they see me and you look so busy. I'm like, but nobody's calling, just to go, hey, Angel, do you want to chat for a few minutes? And, maybe I don't want to, or I can't in the day, but at night, it's like crickets. So call your aunt, call your elders, call the seniors, call them, just call your neighbor.
Yeah. Yeah. Call your neighbor. I mean, and she's 93. This neighbor was 93 and excuse me, I made a mistake. She's 94. She retired last year at 93.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And that's the thing is I have a 94-year-old that's a client of mine that I used to do Reiki and coaching every month, go to the assistant living, and she has not left her apartment in 335 days. I called her yesterday and I call her every week. And and it's like, how you doing, Barb? And she's just like, oh, I just spend my days. It's so beautiful praying. And I go outside my little patio and she's on the second floor. So she has a beautiful tree. And you know what? That's all she talks about.
Mm-hmm. How fabulous.
It's like wonderful to hear from, because other people are, and it's like, wow.
Yeah. And that's when you start to, if you're like that, that's a sign, in my opinion, to go say, well, what can I do? If I want connection, I'm going to initiate the connection. Yeah. I'm going to initiate the connection. I think that's important, that people are always waiting. Well, don't wait. Just ask for it. I mean, like when I was dating, no one came after me. I'd go after all the guys.
That's what I love about Rosie.
Yeah, you want something, you go get it. Right? Just create it.
That's what I love about Rosie and her coaching. So you guys, yes. And we're really going to raise it now with the laughter. We're going to raise it even more. We're going to raise it by singing the Shine On song. Are you ready, Rosie? Are you going to
I'm going to lip read you, girl.
Okay, there you go. And you just do this every now and then. And everybody, please. Yeah, just, listen to the words, because the words are the philosophy of shine, which is all about share, heal, ignite, notice, and energy. So there you go. Let's do it. Got ambition, fire, and soul. Look within your heart. Let your spirit flow. Ask for what you want. Show 'em what you got. Take it to the top. Don't you ever stop. Shine, shine, shine on. Raise your vibration. Shine, shine, shine on. Woo! Yeah! Looking for the answers, seeking you will find. Open up your heart, leave it all behind. Smile and laugh, always give back. Glowing like a star, show 'em who you are. Shine, shine, shine on. Raise your vibration. Shine, shine, shine on. Woo, woo, woo! You're the secret, you're the answer. You know who you are. Look within you, breathe and focus. You're a shining star. You're the star, right, Rosie? Shine, the star. Shine on. Raise your vibration. Shine, shine, shine on. Don't you worry, don't you fake it. Be just who you are. You're the answer to the question. You're that shining star. Shine, shine, shine on. Raise your vibration. Shine, shine, shine on. Now that you can see all that you can be, breathe into your heart. Don't you ever stop. Shine, shine, shine on. Raise your vibration. Shine, woo, woo, woo. Shine, woo, 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 woo. Yes, yes, yes. Isn't that beautiful? Yes. We just raise the consciousness of the whole planet by just dancing, and you really help, because you know what? You ask for what you want. Always ask for what you want. Breathe and focus. Smile and laugh. You are the shining star, and be in that place that always gives back. As you ask for what you want, always giving back.
Yeah.
This beautiful. Thank you, Rosie, so much for being here.
Oh, it was such a delight. Always. Thank you for letting me share. I really appreciate that.
You're so welcome, and thank everybody on the line and on the replay. Appreciate it, and the shares and the likes. And I'll be coming back at you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. at the park in Phoenix, Arizona for Tai Chi. And I'll be streaming that so everyone can see that. All of you that are freezing your butts off.
Oh.
So keep shining, everybody. Thank you, Rosie, again. And I will see you in like a month.
Yes.
Yes. So until I see everybody next time, thank you for being here. Keep shining.